Konnichiwa from Keswick Village. This is the Rorschach Japan update from the 24th of September 2024. A quick summary of what's going down in Japan. Over the weekend, in Ishikawa Prefecture, weather officials issued a level 5 emergency heavy rain alert, which is the highest possible level. 500 milliliters of rain fell in Wajima City and 400 in Suzu City over 2 days, both twice the amount of September's average rainfall, a new historic record for the area. 16 rivers overflowed and mudslides caused property damage to many buildings and houses. The rains have claimed lives, and there are people missing. By the evening of Sunday the 22nd, weather officials downgraded the warning. On Monday the 23rd, officials said that rain damage had blocked off access to 56 villages. Many areas also experienced water and power outages. The chief cabinet secretary said they would send self-defense force helicopters to transport rice and portable toilets to areas that needed it. In international news, China announced on Friday the 20th that they would start allowing Japanese seafood imports again after banning it in 2023 when Japan began releasing treated water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant into the ocean. Recall that China has also released treated water from nuclear plants in the past, but in much larger amounts. After near-continuous negotiations over the past year, China has agreed to allow seafood imports again, but only gradually. Japan wants an immediate removal of trade restrictions because of how much the ban has affected its fishing industry. In contrast, Russia, which also imposed a seafood ban following China, said they wouldn't lift their restrictions. The International Atomic Energy Agency said that it would work with Japan and other nations, including China, to ensure water safety. The tension between the two countries may be one of the reasons why a man stabbed a 10-year-old Japanese boy in Shenzhen, China, on Wednesday the 18th while he was walking to a Japanese school. The police arrested the suspect but haven't given out much information. They insist that it's an isolated incident, but that was put into question as this might be a sign of Japan-China relations falling apart. Japanese government officials are alarmed as anti-China sentiment spreads in the country, and Japanese companies in China are taking precautionary measures. Both governments are urging calm to prevent further escalation. In an update to a story from previous shows, the Hyogo Prefectural Assembly voted for a motion of no confidence against Motohiko Saito, the Hyogo governor, accusing him of power abuse, mistreating staff, and coercing companies into giving him personal gifts or services. The issue surfaced after a senior official, who later died by apparent suicide, accused Saito of misconduct and of indirectly causing the death of a section chief in April. Saito put the section chief in charge of gathering funds even when he had fallen ill, and the senior official believed that Saito worked him to death. An internal investigation dismissed the accusations as false, but the assembly questioned its neutrality and launched a separate third-party probe. Saito now has 10 days to either resign or dissolve the assembly. If he does neither, he will lose his position automatically. All political groups supported the motion, including those that backed Saito in 2021. Speaking of politicians losing their jobs, on Monday the 23rd, the Constitutional Democratic Party, or CDP, elected Yoshihiko Noda, a former prime minister, as the party's new president, beating out its current leader, Kenta Izumi. Noda is more moderate than Izumi, whose policies are fairly progressive, and part of Noda's campaign was that he would help the CDP become Japan's ruling political party. As it stands, the CDP is the second biggest party after the Liberal Democratic Party, the current ruling party. In international security, the Coast Guards of the Quad, a group that includes Japan, the US, Australia, and India, plan to start joint patrols in the Indo-Pacific in 2025, with personnel from each nation boarding one another's ships. The four countries hope to improve maritime security amidst China's growing influence. The Quad also plans to do law enforcement activities, training exercises, and other drills to practice working together. The group aims to launch a maritime training initiative with Southeast Asian, South Asian, and Pacific Island nations to enhance coordination. They are planning to name the initiative Maitri, which means friendship in Sanskrit. On Monday the 23rd, Fumio Kishida, the Prime Minister, met with Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, at the United Nations. Kishida reaffirmed Japan's commitment to supporting Ukraine, and Zelensky thanked him for Japan's assistance, awarding Kishida a Ukrainian honor. Kishida said that he felt it was Japan's duty to help Ukraine, because one day another country might decide to target Japan. Prior to this meeting, Japan and Ukraine made a deal to protect intelligence between the higher-up officials of the two countries. Japan also sent Ukraine advanced medical equipment, such as MRI devices and surgical microscopes. Kishida pledged continued support to Ukraine and announced that the Japan External Trade Organization would open an office in the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, in October. Both leaders agreed to continue working together. Meanwhile, on Tuesday, the 24th, a 5.9 magnitude earthquake hit near an unpopulated island 370 miles south of Japan. Weather officials warned that those living in Izu and Ogasawara Islands, south of Tokyo, that a tsunami might strike and asked them to stay away from coastal areas. The finance ministry said that it would be releasing commemorative gold coins of 10,000 yen, equivalent to $70, for the 2025 Osaka World Expo. However, because of the rising cost of gold, the coins would be priced at $1,900 each. It will feature Miyaku Miyaku, the expo's official character, and the Japan Pavilion. The ministry will also sell a special silver coin of 1,000 yen, which is $7, and a 500 yen coin, that is $3. The silver coins will be sold for $106 and will feature Miyaku Miyaku and a rainbow. Japan Mint will sell the coins in sets and will start taking orders next March. If it gets more orders than the number of sets it has in stock, it will hold a lottery to choose which orders to accept. In business news, on Friday the 20th, the Tokyo Stock Exchange approved Tokyo Metro to list its shares on the Tokyo Stock Exchange on the 23rd of October. The share price will likely be just under $8, valuing the company at about 640 billion yen, or $4.5 billion. This will be Japan's largest initial public offering of the year. The Japanese government owns 53% of the company, and the Tokyo government holds 47%, with half of these shares set to be sold. Proceeds from the central government stake will be used to help rebuild areas that the 2011 earthquake and tsunami damaged. And to wrap up this episode, some sports news. On Thursday the 19th, Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese baseball star playing for the Los Angeles Dodgers, officially became the first Major League Baseball player to achieve 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases in a season. Dylan Kohler, an expert from a sports memorabilia auction company, called the baseball from the 50-50 landmark a piece of history that could sell for up to $500,000. A fan caught the historic home run ball, but the media hasn't revealed their identity or whether they have any plans to sell it. Ohtani hit another home run and stole another base during the same game, making his season total 51 for both so far. The Dodgers still have a few games left until the end of the season, Sunday the 29th, so that record might go even higher. And that's it for this week. Thanks for sticking around for this episode of the Rorschach Japan Update. If you've got questions, thoughts, or just want to say hi, reach out at info@rorschach.com. Don't forget to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast app. Mata ne!